Hey, Nick Parker here. Thanks for stopping by, and I've got a really cool tip to share with you today that you're going to be able to use right away, but more importantly in 2011 as we get closer to January, about 2.5 weeks away, and you're starting to think about setting your New Year's resolution. Well, you may or may not know this, but I'm sure you do from experience in the past. Most New Year's resolutions fail within the first 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm sure it's not something that I have to explain to you. You've probably experienced it for yourself. So most New Year's resolutions do fail pretty quickly, but I'm going to give you a really cool tip today that's going to help you not fail this year. This is your year, 2011, your year. So we have two sides of the brain. We have the left side and the right side. The left side of the brain is the analytical side that's responsible for goal setting and planning and establishing plans to reach our goals. And the right side of the brain is our creative side. This is the side that we visualize with and we can see images, and it's our creative side, the art side, the music side, the artistic side. It's also the emotional side. And when we set goals, we originally have an idea of why we want to achieve that goal, and we have a big picture view, which is what I call the end result of what we're looking to achieve, and that's coming from the right side of the brain. Well, what happens is then the left side of the brain takes over and figures out a way to implement a plan to create all the missing links to help you reach and achieve that goal. The problem is where most people just fall off the wagon and totally give up on their New Year's resolutions is they stay on the left side of the brain. Okay, so what happens is they set, okay, I want to feel better in my clothes, I want to feel healthier, I want to get my blood pressure down, and I really want to have a good year and be around for my kids, whatever their motivation is. And they can visually see this in their head. They can see them at the beach playing with their kids, being happy. And then what happens is they say, okay, so what I need to do is lose 40 pounds, and I want to do it by this date. Well, then what happens is they start focusing on losing the 40 pounds, and then they don't do it by that date, and it becomes very frustrating. They're like, oh, whatever, this stinks. So what happens is you focus too much on the left side of the brain, of the plan, the action plan. Well, how do you overcome that? Let me share a story with you. In 1974, an Olympic decathlonist, did I say that right? Decathlonist? Bruce Jenner lost to someone else, and what he did is when they were on the podium and all of their glory and the fireworks are going off and they were putting their gold medals on, he took a picture of him, and he ended up taking that picture, cutting his head off, not out of vengeance, but sticking his own head on that picture, and then all year long he visualized himself as the winner. Actually, I think it was for 4 years. So throughout his training and disciplining himself, getting up early, going to bed late, proper nutrition, training hard, he did all that, but he did it visualizing the end result of his outcome becoming the winner. So what happened was in 1976 he ended up winning the gold medal. Way to go, Bruce. So anyway, the point was that you have to focus on the outcome, the end result. You have to be able to visually see that. And so what we're going to do, this is hilarious, don't laugh, but this is actually pretty stupid, but it works, is we're going to do this. This is our client. Okay, let me show you this. This is our client. We'll name him, he looks like a Bob. We'll name him Bob. All right, and Bob here looks like he needs to lose about 50, 60 pounds. All right, so this is our client Bob. So Bob realizes he wants to lose the weight. He starts writing down, I want to lose 50, 60 pounds, and I want to do it by this date, yada, yada, yada. Great, you got a goal. I think you should have a goal, and then go for it. But the problem is Bob gets demotivated after about 6 or 8 weeks after setting his New Year's resolution. As you know, the gyms are packed. I mean packed for the first 2 to 3 months of the year. And then where's everybody go? They go with Bob. And so the reason is because they're focusing on that obstacle. They're focusing on, okay, I've got 50 pounds to lose. I'm making very little headway. I'm frustrated. I give up. But what if Bob did this? Check this out. Okay, there's Bob again. Okay, so we cut Bob's head off and we put it there. All right, enough of that. All right, so every morning before Bob goes to the gym, before he eats his breakfast, before he eats his lunch, before he eats his dinner, he sees this. He is looking at the end result, right? So he knows what he wants. This is stimulating the emotional side of his brain, the creative side of his brain, the part of his brain where he gets drive and passion to reach a goal. This side of the brain, I gotta lose 50 pounds, is the side of the brain that's analytical and it's not very motivating. This side of the brain, the creative side of the brain, where he's going to get his drive from, is what's going to get his butt to the gym. It's going to get him to choose better, healthier foods that are going to help him reach his goal a lot faster, and so that's really important. One of my favorite examples is Michael Jordan. If you don't know who Michael Jordan is, you've been buried under a rock. But Michael Jordan, arguably one of the best athletes of all time, especially in basketball in the NBA. We all know the story. He got cut from his high school basketball team on his freshman year, and I read his book, Driven from Within. And one of the things is that he always visualized the end outcome. He saw the end results. He saw himself playing at the NBA level. He saw himself playing in front of thousands and tens of thousands of people, and they're cheering for him, and he's winning national championships. And his discipline showed that, because he would get up early, go to school, have his coach pick him up, go to school, and get there and train when no one else was training, work and practice when no one else was working, because he saw that end result. And it drove him from within, because it was something he's passionate about. So when you're setting your goal for 2011 and you start thinking about it, what I want you to do is to pick something that you can be very, very passionate and driven from within about. Something that's going to really, really motivate you, so that way it gets you out of bed in the morning at 6 o'clock to go work out, or it helps you pass up the chocolate cake, and by the way, you've probably had enough chocolate cake recently. Wine. Lots of wine floating around right now. Wine, chocolate cake, and lots of Christmas parties. So 2.5 weeks left. Start getting focused. So what you want to do is write down your goals, and then always go back to the right side of your brain, to where you're focusing on why you want to get there. And that will help you. 2011, listen, I know it's hard. It's going to take discipline, dedication, fortitude, passion. You got to be driven. You got to want it, and I talk about that a lot. But 2011 can be your best year, guaranteed. You'll reach every single goal. You might even surpass it. So shoot for the stars. Go ahead and start cutting, looking through magazines, cut something out, stick your head on it, write down your goals, write down a list of 100 million reasons of why it's so important to you, why you want to achieve that goal, and I guarantee you're going to be way more likely to reach it, and you'll be one of the people who's actually working out in July and all the way through the rest of the year. And you'll look great, you'll feel great, and everybody will wonder how you did it, and then I'll come to you and ask you for an interview, and we'll put you up here on this blog and show the world how you did it, so you can be my next interview. So anyway, hope you have a great day. I know this will help you. Go do it right now. Go do it. Start thinking about it. I know it's December, but it'll prepare you and start getting you ready for January. So talk to you soon. Again, I'm Nick Parker. Talk to you later.